Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for February 22, 2022, the HoustonGate edition. We begin with that story from the Wall Street Journal. Apparently, the son of the president of Mexico, AMLO, has lived in a luxury home in Houston, Texas, at the behest of a executive or former executive of the Houston Energy Service Company, Baker Hughes. Now, it's not clear if this housing arrangement was free of charge, if there's rent paid, or much else, but it is generating huge controversy in Mexico, and it's garnered the moniker HoustonGate, which speaks to a larger problem of corruption, not with AMLO personally, but with his family, and as Texas Senator Ted Cruz said, a country which had the highest number of deaths of investigative journalists of anywhere in the world. So while the president himself doesn't appear to have been accused of any wrongdoing, his son certainly has, and the president has gone on the offensive, attacking journalists who have covered his son. Next up, Germany issues sanctions to stop Nord Stream 2, a key Russian natural gas pipeline, after Russia recognized 2 separatist regions in Ukraine as Russian provinces. So the sanctions have started. Now it's going to be up to the United States to see if more sanctions are levied. And given Putin's comments yesterday that Ukraine's independence was not legitimate, perhaps that might be coming. Next up from Reuters, user groups in the EU say EU tech users should be allowed to sue U.S. tech giants under EU laws, meaning individual users should be allowed to take tech giants to court. That's, of course, the one thing that these companies fear the most, that they would be out of arbitration and into court in the light of a day in public scrutiny where their actions would be subject to rules and regulations of discovery and testimony. So this is a part of something called the Digital Markets Act, which is proposed by EU antitrust chief Margrethe Vestager over a year ago, and it is now in final negotiations to become law. And finally, we return once more to the state of Texas and that well-known buffoon, the Texas State Attorney General, who is up for re-election in a couple of weeks in the Republican primary, and he's attacked the whistleblowers who have brought allegations against him on the campaign trail. He doesn't seem to understand nor care nor even worry about these whistleblowers. So corruption runs rampant in the Texas AG's office on the campaign trail. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.